Oh man, well, listen. Earlier in the show, we talked about what's going on with Roman Reigns while he's away from the WWE. Two movies that he's looks like he's working on and going to be either starring or making some type of appearance and having some role in. Right. In the meantime, in between time, over here in the world of the WWE, it seems as if the next chapter in the bloodline has begun. Shout out to Think Tank. You feel me? Big action salute. Thank you so much for sliding through, and everybody, all the frenemies in the chat. Once again, you feel me? If you haven't hit that like button already, I definitely urge you to do so. It will greatly help us out. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get involved in the algorithm nation, you feel me, out there in the streets, you feel me. But as far as Roman Reigns in the next chapter of the bloodline goes, it does look as if that we have started that next chapter. I'm so excited to see what this next chapter of the bloodline story looks like. And I'm reminded of last year, the WrestleMania 39 press conference when Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns said that they're in the third inning, which to me sounds like now they're talking about the innings of the actual bloodline story. Had nothing to do with Cody Rhodes and him finishing his story, but for this chapter in the big book of the bloodline, as Roman Reigns so affectionately referred to it as, does appear that Solo Sikoa has taken a turn as far as his character exposing a new layer. And we have the introduction of Tama Tonga, of course, formerly of the Gorillas of Destiny, New Japan Pro Wrestling, joining the fold as they took out Jimmy Uso, um, that, with Paul Heyman not even knowing what the hell was going on, saying that they are doing this per orders or by orders of the tribal chief. Uh, Man, losing has consequences.
Yo,
There's something going on here, and Ben, let's go ahead and let's talk about it, bro. What do you think is going on here? What is this new chapter, this next layer of the bloodline? What do you think that looks like, and what is going on here? How did you view this, and where are we going?
I think we're headed to the bloodline civil war. Like, there's no other
Another one though.
way.
We just had one.
I think it's a real civil war. Like, yo, that was a little, that was a little like, a little
It was
scrimmage.
literally marketed to us as the bloodline civil war. That's all. That's the
Okay, all
only reason
right.
I'm
Civil
saying
War
that.
Part Two. Okay, Bloodline World War. Okay, we call that
You
Bloodline
know,
Hollywood and Bloodline
Wolfpack.
Wolfpack. Yeah. Bloodline Wolfpack, Bloodline Hollywood. But I think we're at a point where like we got to question who is the tribal chief? Who is
Yeah.
he talking about? Because like Paul Heyman was like, well, Roman ain't say nothing to me. He ain't called me. He ain't said nothing to me. Because we got questions because Roman literally bestowed the right of like the next tribal chief on the Solo. Is Solo the tribal chief? The Rock. The Rock was in very much in contact with these guys. Is The Rock pulling the strings from where he's at? Or is Roman Reigns, has he just cut out Paul Heyman completely and he's like, you know what? You fucked up the vibe. You didn't stand where I needed you to. I lost the belt. It didn't go out as we planned it. I need to move on, seek new management. It's a bunch of questions. And I think this ends up being another like bloodline divide. I think Jimmy goes back, he links up with Jay. He's like, yo, man, look, I was wilding. That's on me. Maybe we get the introduction of Jacob Fatu. Maybe I don't know, man. I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't know, but I just want to know, like, yo, it's the real question is who's the tribal chief? That's the number one question I got.
Yeah, I think that is the number one question. Like, is Roman Reigns the one that is calling the shots here? Um, is it Solo taking the orders, like, or is it Solo taking the reins on his own, just saying, "Hey, I was bestowed this honor. It's time for me to step up in the wake of everybody losing at WrestleMania." The Rock was the only person to that's associated with the bloodline that actually picked up a win that weekend in his defeat of Cody Rhodes in that tag match. So could he be the one that's saying that he's the tribal chief now? Should he be saying that he's at the head of the table? When we saw that that bloodline family tree at the kickoff in Vegas, I believe it had the High Chief next to The Rock's name on it, which he was bestowed that honor literally in the family of the High Chief, as was Peter Maivia. So, and in a sense, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong here, but I believe the High Chief is higher than the Tribal Chief. So, does The Rock even want to be the Tribal Chief? Like you know what I'm saying? Like you're right.
That's a good question.
There are questions here as far as what this next layer looks like. But as they peel it back, it does look like the introduction of Tama Tonga will eventually bring the introduction of Jacob Fatu. I'm so thankful that Tama Tonga was actually able to keep his name as well, because I didn't want them to like name him something silly as shit and be like, yeah, y'all know him. He was from Japan and da 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 da. Like, all right, bro. Like, I don't really need none of that.
Yeah,
But
and the whole thing with that was, I'm like what you said, like hopefully they keep the name and they kind of acknowledge where he's from and everything like that. Being a Triple H era, I think is like a little bit more lenient on like not insulting the fans and being like, yo, I gotta spoon feed you about who this individual is. Just assuming like, yo, if you're in the know, you know, and I don't gotta explain this shit to you. Real quick, shout out to Isaiah Harris sent us a little gift. Just showing some love and watching y'all for about a year. First time catching y'all live. Hey man.
love.
Love.
Thank you so much. And just for that, I'll do this one too.
Drop that track. Crispy chicken, fresh lettuce, 3 cheeses.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Salute to Isaiah. That's love. That's love, definitely. But yeah, with the bloodline, I think that so here's something interesting, right? Check this out. This so pretty much every time Jey Uso has gotten an opportunity to, kind of further his solo career as main event Jey Uso, the Yeet Master, whatever, right? Jimmy has pretty much been at every turn. SummerSlam in the tribal combat match, just after Survivor Series when they won the or just after Payback when they won the tag titles, him and Cody. Was it Payback? No, it wasn't Payback. It was after. It was somewhere Survivor Series. No, that was War Games. They wasn't in anyway, somewhere October, November, they won them tag titles and they lost them like 2 weeks later due to Jimmy Uso. Jay had that title match against Seth for the World Heavyweight title. Jimmy interfered in that. Jimmy Uso, I assume, is now out for some time until they figure out like where to bring him back in with his brothers so they can do that whole face off. Will they, won't they? Let's hug. Everybody cheers and it's happy thing, right? In the meantime, Jay has a match against Damian Priest, I believe, at Backlash for the World Heavyweight Championship. He's the number one contender now, right? What if Jacob Fatu debuts there and costs Jey Uso the match? Fastlane, Jay Champ. We appreciate that. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. That's love. Fastlane was where they won the tag titles. That's where they had that press conference where they was drunk. That was good quality programming. That was good quality programming right there. But yeah, I think that there's a possibility for Jacob Fatu to debut in France at Backlash and stop Jey Uso from winning the World Heavyweight Championship, and basically force him back into this fold of this idea of the bloodline, civil war, world war, infinity war, whatever the fuck.
Yeah, like at this point, it's gotta be like Roman comes back and was like, "Hey, man, look, I let the power corrupt me. That's on me." We get an original Bloodline reunion, maybe against Solo, Jacob Fatu, and Tama Tonga. Maybe maybe War Games, something like that. I mean,
people are pitching that War Games idea with like
yeah,
Tama
The
Tonga,
Rock.
Jacob Fatu, The Rock. I'm like, The Rock in a War Games match.
The Rock ain't getting in War Games. I'm like, yo, y'all let that shit go to y'all head about him doing this match and being like, oh yeah, they were like, he was fine at WrestleMania. I'm like, but it's not. You know what? I'm not. If I gotta explain it to you,
Right.
I gotta explain it to you.
Don't even
It's
worry
not.
about it, y'all.
You know what I mean?
It's
Yeah.
not worth it.
Don't even
It
worry
ain't
about it.
worth
You got it. You got it. Yo, shout
We're
out
gonna
to
see the ride of War Games for sure.
Shout out to Joshua Sweeney. Do we know Zilla's status? Did he jump over too? I feel like if they do get Zilla, I feel like you got to put him in NXT first.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I feel
I don't
like
think
bringing him
Ziggler's
up.
gonna
Yeah, I feel like bringing him up is like too much, like all at once. I feel like because I feel like the role that he would fill right now, Solo got that under control right now. I feel like you just need the 3 right now. You just need the 3.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think if they bring Zilla in, NXT would be the wave, just like they did with Solo at first. Somebody who doesn't really have a lot of really no TV experience at all can kind of get through the motions and really flesh out their character and how they perform. I think that'll be the move for
Facts.
that.
Then on top of that, like NXT is about to get like the locker room's about to get like about to lose a lot of the young stars. So putting him in
Mhm.
there, letting him have his chance to shine, being like with that new crop of stars. I mean, like if they do get him, that would be the move. I don't think to just rush him up is fair to him, and I don't think it's fair to the storyline either.
Yeah, I agree with that. Not necessarily sure when Roman returns back to TV. I feel like it'll likely be after the draft, which is in
Yeah.
like a week and a half. I feel like it'll be after that, probably after Backlash as well, when the rosters are set and they can say Roman Reigns returns for the first time since WrestleMania. Yada 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 yada. Shout out to Frankie. You know what I'm talking about in the chat. Love. Always pure love. Frankie, what do you think is going to be the next step or the next layer of the bloodline? When does Roman? What's going to happen here? Tama Tonga, you feel me? Jimmy Uso, Jay Uso. What the fuck is going on?
I feel like The Rock comes back before we get Roman.
I don't know about that.
I feel like it because this man got 2 movies. He's just held on to the title for damn near 3 years. I feel like we don't see him until like September-ish.
I feel like that's too far. I feel like Roman will be back by SummerSlam.
Build the allure.
Yeah, for sure. Build the allure. Definitely build the allure. But I don't know. I feel like that's too far. Ken in the chat says Street saying Roman's next appearance is SummerSlam. I don't know. Maybe I think that's probably The Rock's next appearance too. Keep it a bean pie with you. If, like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's just my hope. Honestly, more so than anything. Like I don't have an inside anything, but I feel like Roman is not the star of these movies, so I don't think that he's on set for as long as everybody else.
Damn.
Like
So
he's not the main star. Like I don't think Roman.
Mummy Returns.
I just don't think. Yeah, you feel me? But I just don't think a movie with Keanu Reeves, Seth Rogen, Sandra Oh, with all her equity from Grey's Anatomy and all of that, is taking a backseat to Roman Reigns, bitch ass. I just don't see it. You feel me? And I'm not saying Roman Reigns bitch ass like Roman Reigns a bitch. I'm saying like in the level of Hollywood. You feel me? Like I'm what?
Yeah, you low on the totem pole right now. It's like,
Yeah,
yo, you
you
got to
feel me?
build
Like,
yourself up before
don't play with me.
like. Yeah, so yeah, you kind of right. I
You know what I'm
feel
saying?
it. I feel it.
As compared to The Rock, and this was the Smashing Machine movie that he's doing. He is the star. He's also producing. You feel me? Like I can understand if he's gone longer than Roman. Like I feel like Roman is like I'm on set maybe 6 days, 2 weeks tops. You feel me? Like I don't think he finna be months at a time. You feel me? On set, reshoots, all types of shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that's the case.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
salute to Roman.
maybe.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to, you know what I'm saying, minimize anything. You feel me? I'm just speaking my truth. You feel me? Because that's what I'm here to do. You know what I'm saying?
SummerSlam build. Like now that you mention it, because I was kind of running away with it. Yeah.
Maybe.
But
But
if he has like if he's like having a role on like the G.I. Joe movie, like similar to like Sergeant Slaughter, he's gonna be around. Like Sergeant Slaughter, like he was around for a little bit. I don't know.
I don't know
We'll
nothing about
see.
it.
We'll see.
Elsewhere
Yeah,
on
Survivor Series. Oh, not Survivor Series. SummerSlam is probably the better.
in
Better option.
Cleveland. Everybody loves Cleveland.
Fuck
You
me.
feel me? Elsewhere on Smack.